E2M Premium is your personal trainer on the go. You can look at the workouts that we provide each week and follow along at home or in the gym. So if you're on the go, you're traveling, at a hotel, with your in-laws, traveling around the country because you're a working person and you're busy, open up E2M Premium, knock out a workout based on body part or full body, and get it done. We also have programs. Those programs walk you through everything you need to do to focus on becoming stronger, healthier, to have the body you desire in a way that you can keep and maintain for a long time. E2M Premium is your personal trainer today and the future.
All right, what up, what up? Welcome back to the Bad Podcast. Brad and Dawain in here another week. My brother Brad, what's going on, my friend?
How you doing? We're going to talk about Atomic Habits today. Have you ever read the book Atomic Habits?
I've actually listened to the audio version. I cheated.
Very good. It's a big book. I actually haven't read the entire thing, but there is diamonds, nuggets throughout the entire book, and we're going to talk about some of those things today. So, the quote that I have is from James Clear: "Never miss twice. If you miss one day, try to get back on track as quickly as possible." Let's talk about it.
All right, man. Let's get it.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
What it look like, what it be like, what it do. Back in here, another episode of the Bad Podcast. Brad and Dawain in the building. Super excited, man, to get behind the microphone, man. And we're getting really close to our event, man. We April will be here in no time, Brad. I'm gonna let you kind of kick off, talking about that real quick. That's part of us kind of paying the bills on our side, man. So let's talk about Step Jam real quick before we get into our topic.
Yeah, man, this is something that we've poured a lot of time and energy into, and it's our chance to celebrate our community, and whether it's in person or virtual, it's a chance for us to celebrate the community, bring people together in that Columbia and surrounding area. And I've been encouraging people, if they're within 3 or 4 hours, pop the kids in the car, pop the luggage in the car, and come down for the weekend. This is how our events are. And this is an opportunity for our clients, our members, our community, just to sort of be revived, man. It's an energy boost. And just to speak to that, we are going to be in person, obviously, in Columbia on April 12th at Benedict College at the Charles W. Johnson Field. But you can also do this virtually. So if you can't make it, but you have a community of E2M followers, eager to run followers, and you're a medal chaser, you just want to be a part of the fun, get your people together, meet at a local park, meet at a local gym, meet at a local track, and see what you can do for 60 total minutes. You can walk, you can run, you can sprint, you can do intervals, whatever you can do in 60 minutes. And this is for all levels of fitness, all backgrounds of fitness. Anybody can do it. And then to speak to the E2M side of things, we got the Eager to Run Step Jam 60-minute challenge in the beginning, and then that's going to be followed by the E2M celebration. Just like the old days, we're gonna transition with a little bit of a party, and then it's over to the E2M workout. It's going to be based around steps. It's going to be a little bit less intensity, and then we do our old fashioned picture line. Do the selfies and do all the fun after the E2M side of things.
Absolutely, man. It's going to be great. So make sure you guys register. Go and register for the race, man. And then if not, like Brad said, come out and hang out with us. DJ Crazy T is gonna be on the ones and twos. He gonna hit all the jams. I was telling my wife there's a song going around called Boots on the Ground with the line dance, and I know that's gonna pop off, and Brad's gonna lead us off.
I will not. I will not. I got two.
Yeah, I know. Can't get Brad to dance, can't get me to run. Like that's kind of where we at right now. But yeah, man. So I want to give a quick shout out to I know this one, Dr. Parker 910. Shout out to Candy, man. She said so many great nuggets this episode. Being intentional and consistent is the main ingredient to success. Absolutely. Shout out to you, Candy. Dr. P, aka. Also, man, shout out to my man Timothy, man. He messaged me, said, I'm from Irmo. Like Irmo in the building. You know, we shout out Irmo, man, for checking us out. So yeah, super excited about that. And I got one more thing before we get in, man. So as you guys know, my podcasting is my thing. This is what I was brought on for. It's something I'm trying to develop and grow. And so started reaching out to sponsors. And so I actually got a call back from one. But here's the thing, guys, I need your help because in order for us to benefit from the sponsor, they literally do what they call CPM, which means kind of like a pay per click. So we need at least 1,000 listeners per episode in order to actually get something from this company. So I need you to help share this podcast. If you're listening on Apple Music, Spotify, share it, screenshot it, tag a friend, let people know so they can subscribe and check out the podcast so we can get our viewership up and our listenership up, and then we can start getting some sponsors. So, all right, off my thing, man. Let's get into this great topic, man, this week.
Yeah, man, I want to talk about consistency over intensity. And the other day I had like an aha moment, man. I was going for a run and things just go in and out of my head the entire time I'm running. And I had a 9-mile run, so I was out on the road for quite a while. And I started to think about star power on Mario Kart. You ever played Mario Kart?
Yes, I have.
We all did growing up in our era, man. That was like the game, right?
Yeah. Mario Kart was a little later for me.
Mhm.
But yeah, I definitely played it.
You're the Duck Hunter and the original Mario.
You got to go back. The original Mario. That's more my jam.
Mhm.
But yeah, definitely played a lot of Mario Kart. Actually, I think I was in college when Mario Kart was like really taking off.
Yeah, I was probably in elementary, middle school, right around there.
Rub it in, man. Whatever.
But one of the things that I was thinking about is, there's several different superpowers that you get throughout a race of Mario Kart, and like the better the power, the worse you are. So like if you're in last place, you get the star power, you get the Turbo Boy, you get all the cool superpowers when you're in the back. When you're up in front, you get the green turtle shell. Like you don't get anything if you right. Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. But when you're in the back, you get that star power, right? And that star power is that intensity, it's that momentum. But what happens when you get that star power is it gives you that jolt, that initial, right? And you're in the back of the line. That's sort of a very similar to losing or spiraling out of control in life. You're at the bottom. You've hit rock bottom, and you get that star power. You get some sort of zest or enthusiasm, and you're like, boom! I need to have my comeback, and you start to go right. But what happens is that star power always dissolves. It always goes away, right? So it's all about consistency over intensity. It's not about going as fast as you can for a short period of time. It's about making small wins and small decisions for a long period of time and creating that consistency.
Yeah, man, this is gonna be a good one because especially our listener base, we all go through it. I see it so often. People say, "Man, I wish I had my first round intensity," because when you first join E2M, that's star power. You hit you lock in. You got this 8-week goal. You literally think and you see your body accelerate. You see it take off. And like you mentioned, it's great to take off, but there gotta have to be some consistency there, man. So that I think this is really going to help a lot of people just kind of find that balance. And I got a analogy. I actually posted about it twice this week in my story, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. But no,
Me.
it was a graph, and it was like it had like 100%, 100%, 100%, like for like 7 straight. Yeah, and then underneath it was like 80, 60, 20, 40, and it was saying that, only robots are 100% all the time, man. Every day you're as long as you're showing up, man, you're giving something different, but it all adds up to that win, man. That was one of them, but I'll let you go ahead.
And even robots, you think about a robot, their batteries drain, right? And you have to plug them in, and that's our recharge moment. And it's just to speak to racing, I know several runners that sprint out of the gates. They just want a PR, and they want to get their best time. And the problem is when they sprint out like that, the speed isn't sustainable, right? And
Mhm.
you got to come out nice and slow. And if you have energy at the tail end, that's when you sprint it out. But these small wins that we're talking about, these mile markers, that was one of our first episodes. I think it was like episode
Yeah.
3, mile
Yeah.
markers, man. They're a compounding effect, right? Small improvements day in and day out. That's that Kaizen principle, that Kaizen philosophy, that Japanese philosophy is small improvements every day. Just try to get a little bit better. And what's going to happen too is you're going to have sort of like an identity shift, right? You're going to sort of redefine who you are. A lot of people in life, every day is an opportunity to have that identity shift. You've had it. I've had it. Everybody looks at me now and they're like, "Oh, that's Mr. Fitness," right? And they
Mhm.
probably say the same thing
Mhm.
about you. "Oh, that's Mr. Fitness, Mr. Health."
Mhm.
And at one point in our lives, for me certainly, I don't know about anybody else, but me certainly in my 20s, please, please, that's the party guy. That's the party animal. Um, but all those small wins, those small mile markers, that consistency and discipline is going to create an identity shift. Hold on to that identity shift. Redefine who you are and live that lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, but before this journey, I was not Mr. Fitness. Uh, I was Mr. Honey buns and
Hey, don't knock
I
the
was
honey buns.
hey, I'm not knocking it. I'm just
Woo!
saying I was known for the snacks. And that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was known for the snack. Nah,
Yeah.
but for real, like, and it's funny, when now, we talk about it when you see people, especially people at E2M, and they feel like they I'm coming back, they think we the police, like we
Right.
the E2M police. It's not the case, man.
Mhm.
And to be honest, it speaks to this topic. When we see you, we don't know where you are on your journey. We don't know if life has happened and you needed to take a break, which is not a bad thing, because that's when you get into the lifestyle aspect of it. And that's as long as you have the mentality or the thought process of, I know what to do to get better, or I'm going to get better. I'm not. Today's not a good day. I had a bad day at work. I fell victim to this. Because we're always. I mean, we're gonna always tell you the positive. We're gonna always motivate you. Tell you to put them cookies down. We're gonna always say that. But if you are in a place where that's your reality today, that's not the end of the road. And that's where consistency come in. You don't fall off and then just throw the rest of it away.
Right.
You actually, like your quote, man, you stack on to the next day. The next day you try harder. You come to that same, fork in the road, that same decision, and you make a better one. It's not going to be perfect, but it's a constant, like, continually, like, trying to get better and better, and then realizing you won't be perfect.
Right.
I think a lot of people miss that. Like,
Mhm.
I talk. It's funny. I shout out to my man Polly. I talked to him this morning, and he was like, "Man, I know you ain't seen me." I was like, "Bro, it's a lifestyle, man. You know
Mhm.
what to do.
Yep.
Whatever you got going on in your life, you get through that. You figure it out. Once you get back on your feet, and you know how to come back. It's the difference between a fad or a crash diet. It's a
Mhm.
lifestyle, man. Just
Right.
understanding that your every day is gonna be something different."
hmm Yeah, and that quote said something like "Don't miss twice." Right? If you made the mistake of eating those cookies today or the honey bun boys, don't make that mistake 2 days in a row. And if you make it 2 days in a row, don't make that mistake 3 days in a row. You have to make this a consistent lifestyle of a choice. And what this
Mm,
does too, like the more you make this the norm, the more you reduce that decision fatigue, right? And what I mean
mhm,
by that is every day you're going to make hundreds of thousands of decisions. Do I walk left? Do I walk right? Do I put these shoes on? Do I put that shirt on? Do I do this? Do I do that? You're going to make thousands of decisions. To reduce that decision fatigue, make consistent behaviors, make consistent routines, good ones, the norm.
mhm.
Make the decisions easy, right? Every day I
Yeah,
wake up and I do the same thing. I start with water with lemon. I add some salt
mhm,
into it. I have my 2 cups of coffee. I hang out with my kids. I do my workout, do the podcast or a meeting. I try to do the stretching, but it doesn't happen very often. That's why my back's killing me today. Um, you know, I don't have to think very hard. I'm not fatigued after making these tough
mhm,
decisions. But a lot of people, they're so far away from the tracks that it's like, oh man,
mhm,
this is
mhm.
gonna be really hard to make a decision to put my shoes on. For me, that it is still the hardest part, but it's the norm. I'll put
Yeah.
my shoes on. And the further you get away from putting those shoes on, like one day you don't put the shoes on, not a big deal. Second day you come back, you usually put them on. But if you skip that second day, you make that second day, you want to talk about compounding effect. One day, not bad. 2 days, still not really that bad. 3 days, okay, we're starting to inch closer to that. We're breaking our good habits, and dude. So just talking about good habits, bad habits. One of the quotes that I read out of that book was the best way to uh, the best way to break a bad habit is to develop a good habit.
Mm-hmm.
Just such a
Mm-hmm.
plain and simple, black and white. Like, here's an easy quote. You want to talk about breaking bad habits? Just replace it with a good habit. One of those good
Yep.
habits is not going for the Oreos for breakfast and putting your shoes on, going for a 20-minute walk. Boom,
Mm-hmm.
settled.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Absolutely.
like I said, you just reduce that fatigue in that tiresome decision making process.
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna go back to the 1 to 2 days of failing. So this also, I posted this in my stories. I actually went and grabbed the image, and I'm gonna throw it up here real quick. All right. So you see, it's you see it
Mm.
in a week,
Mhm.
1 week you might miss one. That week you miss two. You gotta look at the grand scheme of things, man. That even
Mhm.
if you have two failures, it's not
Mhm.
over. Like, you gotta
Mhm.
look at the full picture. And I mean, even for me, and I know this real time when getting ready for a show, you're like, you have to watch the scale. Like, that I literally had to like hit the scale, send it to every day. And when you do that, you'll have 2 days where you drop a pound, you drop a
Mhm.
pound, and then
Mhm.
you'll have 2 or 3 days where it don't move.
Right.
But then, Eric, he would tell me, he was like, I'm not looking at day to day. I'm looking at the average
Mhm.
of the week or the average of the month. And, and it relieves some of the anxiety.
Mhm.
But yeah, so even with two failures, you gotta look at the grand scheme of things. If
Mhm.
you can string together more wins, at the end of the day, you win that month, man. You
Mhm.
have a winning record. We
Yeah.
always talk about sports, you have a winning record. But also with the habits thing and the fatigue thing, one thing that book talks about a lot is making it easy to form the habit, like setting things up so it's not a pain point. Because I think I was listening to that a couple weeks ago, that part, but he was saying, like, do all the things to make the decision easy. If
Mhm.
it's going for that walk, man, put them walking shoes right by the
Mhm.
bed.
Mhm.
If it's eating a good meal, set it out the night before.
Yep.
Don't do it. It's easier to develop a habit if it's something that comes easy to you. If it's
Right.
something that you can just, you
Mhm.
can grab no problem, you can run to no problem. That's the big difference.
Mhm. Yeah, and one of our big things is set your workout clothes out the night before. Like, for me,
Yep.
when I have a 5:30 in the morning treadmill class, guess what? I'm rocking my shorts. I'm rocking my tank top or t-shirt, whatever I'm rocking for the class. I'm literally wearing that to bed at night. And then I just throw my socks and my headband on, and I'm ready to go. Like, I don't really have
Mhm.
another choice, right? Same concept. And I like that. Can you bring that graph back up? Is it
Yeah.
possible to bring that sucker back
Yeah.
up?
Yes, sir.
That was quick.
Yeah, that's right here,
um,
man. I'm ready.
I like it. My son is doing a tally sheet right now. Just with dinner and stuff, and I told him, I said, make your graph look like a Christmas tree. Will you have
Mhm.
ornaments on it? Yeah, sure you will. You'll have some reds on there, but you
Mhm.
want primarily that graph to be green like a Christmas tree. And if you have an unproportional Christmas tree, you may have 10 million red ornaments on there, but you don't. That's not normal, right? You want it more green than red, and it is okay to
Mhm.
have those two bad days in a row. One of the things that Andy Frisella used to preach, man, is there's 7 days in a week. If you win 4 days in that week, you
Mhm.
won the week.
You
You
won.
won the week. You can have 3 bad days in a row and still
Mhm.
win the week. You just
Yep.
gotta win 4 days a week. And what's gonna happen too is if you start to win 4 days in a row, those 4 days are gonna turn into five. Those 5 days are
Mhm.
gonna turn into six. And again, guys, compounding effect both on the negative side of things and the positive side of things. Both, I mean, win or lose, you're gonna have compounding effects. Bad habits, good habits, you're going to have compounding effects. You have to start replacing bad habits with good ones. Start making good decisions, good routines, good habits, good behaviors.
Mm. Good stuff, man. All the goods.
All the goods, even the honey buns.
Even the honey buns, man. That you can put that on an X day.
I'll put it
Put a
on the
honey
red X
bun.
day. I'll have 2 red X
Yeah,
days.
put a honey bun on a red X day. You know, you gotta
Yeah.
put it in the microwave though. You gotta put it in the microwave,
Oh,
warm
you
it up
got
a
you.
little bit.
That's a given. That's a given. Dude, they had the honey bun with like the white frosting on it too. It was like the
Oh
next
yeah.
level honey bun.
Oh yeah.
Please, I
Bro, listen.
I might have to go get me some of those and put them in the air fryer. Check it out in the air fryer.
Ooh, I ain't even thinking
Onto
like that.
something. Onto something.
Okay. Hey, if you're triggered by food, we apologize in advance.
I know people are triggered by food, man, and it's tough. But again, you want to talk about that lifestyle piece.
Now,
If you're chasing the fad, man, chase the fad, but make this a consistency, make this a
yeah.
lifestyle, and you have to be able to have those red check mark days, and have the mental capacity to come back for the next green check mark day.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So I'm gonna throw this out there. Like if Candy's watching this, she can relate. So in the country in the southeast, we get a piece of cheese without honey bun. We get a piece of cheese. They call it penny cheese, and you ask for a penny cheese. They cut off a little slice, and you pair that with the honey bun back in the day. So that's a little South thing we used to do.
Is that like a sweet and salty, sweet and savory kind of
Yeah.
deal, or is that how?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's a great combo, brother. But he wait, okay. I gotta ask, did you because I know you traveled not too long ago. Did you get to try a Bowberry biscuit?
No, and okay, this is a funny story. I wish I would
Okay.
have taken the picture. So, we were in North or South Carolina. We were down there. We saw Bojangles, and I told Adrian, I
Mhm.
said, I need to go get a Bowberry biscuit. And she's like, "What's that?" I explained it to her, and I said, "D told me to get one." So we went in there, because Becca had to use the restroom. So we went in, used the
Mhm.
restroom, came out. We got in line. The line was like there was no line when we walked in. Should have
Of
just
course.
hopped in line and got one. Came out. There was like 7 people in line. I'm like, all right, we'll wait it.
Yeah.
The guy that was at the register, he had issues. I'm like, all right, no big deal. Second guy gets up, he had issues. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I just wanted to get to Florida, right? I just wanted to get to
Yeah, I
Florida
get
so
it.
bad, and
Yeah.
so we bailed. We walked out, and I'm like, all right,
Alright.
well, we'll just do the drive-through real quick, and
Uh-huh.
that didn't work out either. There was like 12
No
cars in the
worries. I
drive-through.
got you. So if you're listening right now, you coming to the Columbia meetup. Make sure you bring Brad a Bowberry biscuits to the Columbia Step Jam. And if he has abundance of biscuits, I will help him out. I'll volunteer. I,
Hey,
I will be tribute. I will.
hey, listen. If anybody's going to be at Step Jam in Columbia, what I'll do is the first 3 people that bring me a Bowberry biscuit, I'll give you a pair of Eagle Ray ones. I'll hand you a pair of Eagle Ray ones.
There you go. All right. And if exceed 3, if more than 3, I won't give you anything, but
I-
I'll take the biscuit.
I'll give you a hug. I'll give you a hug. I'm handing out free hugs. Anybody that brings a
I
Bowberry
love it.
biscuit, D will give him a hug. I'll give him a hug.
There you go. There you go, man. Good stuff. All right, man. So we're getting ready to wrap this up. Really good episode. Like I started out from the start, man. Just share this podcast and let people know, that you're listening to us, and we really, Brad brought it up last week. A lot of things that we talk about, people are paid to get this kind of information. People are paid to get this motivation, just the inspiration and just hearing, because sometimes you just have to hear it. Be like, sometimes, you can know it, because everybody know you eat chicken, you eat broccoli, you walk, everybody know that. But sometimes you just need to hear it from somebody, man. And so we're glad to be that voice. We're honored to be that voice. And we appreciate y'all, man. So Brad, close us out, my guy.
Yeah, guys, this
Yeah,
isn't going to be motivational. So on April 5th, we will be at the Cooper Bridge Run. Okay. Talk about community, folks. You're going to see hundreds of people show up and show out in Charleston, South Carolina on April 5th for the Cooper Bridge Run. Friday night from 5 to 7 p.m., we're going to be at the Red Palm Tavern. And then directly following the run on Saturday, we're going right back to the Red Palm Tavern. Come and visit us. Come out and hang out with us. Whether you're doing the race or not, come and chop it up with us, guys. This is our chance to just be kind of unplugged a little bit. You're going to see Brad, not Uncle Brad, not Coach Brad. You're going to see Dawain, not Coach Dawain. You're going to see the real true versions of us, and it's just a chance to lighten up a little bit and have a good time. So Cooper Bridge Run, April 5th. April 4th will be at that Red Palm Tavern. Guys, love you so much. Thanks for all the support.
And bring Bowberry biscuits.